Oh, hi guys and girls, just doing a little video here, show you some of the work I've done on my car. As you can see, I've lost the wheel, but not in a bad way. I've took it off. I've also taken most of the suspension to bits as well. You can see that I've nicely painted the axle up a bit, put a nice new CV boot on, but I've lost my my bearing and my bearing housing. Brake caliper is nice and safely tucked up there, no tugging on the pipes. Found out what my knocking noise was. It was the bottom ball joint that sits in here. That's all well and good now. I've got a, well, it's not yet. I've got one on order. I've took it all to bits to number one, de-rust the internals of it. When I say internals, I mean the bits I couldn't get to when it was all together, so the inside of the bearing housing and all this, that and the other. Well, not the bearing housing, but the hub carrier is what you call them, I think. De-rusted all the side of there and painted it, which is all nice. My grandma and granddad's just turned up as we are going to town today. I'm dressed in semi-reasonable clothing. My dad's going out on his bike down there. That's sort of his new one. And my grandma and granddad just turned up. But yeah, I'm just going to show you some of the work I've done on this. There's 5p on the floor down there. It's been there for a while, I think. Yeah, I think I have a little, I've got damp coming out of my suspension strut, so I don't know if that's on the way out or not. I'll worry about that later. It's an easy job to change the suspension strut anyway. All the bolts are nice and new, so it'll be easy to take them out. And I did underseal them when I put them back in, so hopefully no moisture will get inside them. Other than that, that's all pretty good. Anyway, I've got to move my my dad's coming out the way. Keep watching guys, and I'll do a bit of an update on the Marbella as well, just after I've seen my dad off. Right, I've just seen my dad off, so he's all going off to Wales for the day on his bike. Obviously not the not the Australian Wales, the one that's in the UK. As you can see, in here I've painted the leaf springs with some just bitumen. Under seal, may as well. I've also painted it all in the wheel arch. Don't know how that's going to come out. Probably dark and unseeable. So all the wheel arches has been under sealed. The sill has been done. Inner and outer sill, and part way underneath the car as well. So that's all nice. That was all spotted with rust, so I just took it back and sealed it. Looks like my brother's done used some bumper care on the car to get it up to some, you know, back to black, so to speak, or whatever it's called. Just some Auto Sol, I think it is, bumper care. Oh, Auto Glim, that's the stuff he's been using. Yeah, that stuff there. He cut the bottle open to get the rest of it out. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. There's a few scratches on the back, which is a shame. Those ones there, but I guess it's an old car and it is to be expected. It's like that there on the door. It looks a bit naff. That's Amorite, that is. That's red Amorite. Thankfully, it's a pretty good paint match. It's slightly more lighter in colour, but it's not far off. It's not far off at all. Will it matter? What does it matter, eh? One day it'll probably get a full re-redding of respray. I mean, already the bonnet's starting to blemish again, look. I mean, you know, we only painted that not long ago. No, I didn't paint it, sorry. We only polished that not long ago, and it's already starting to come up again in the naff colour, you know, the cloudiness. It's just the way red cars go though, it's just how it is. Good stuff. Just chipping the old underseal off. And yeah, I'm going to go over it with some rust treatment. I've got to take this panel out here. If I can do it. It's icky and sticky. Should just pull out. They do stick them in though. There we go. Thanks for that. Yeah, that looks alright behind there. It's a bit yucky down there, but other than that it's not too bad. No rust. Well, as such. Found out that this panel here has been repaired at some point in time. If you look, you can just see different colours in the two panels. And this bracket has been bent. So it's had a knock somehow. Not sure how, but it has. And if you look inside where that, if I can get in, let me just try and wipe my hand on something. This is yucky stuff. Yeah, it's not really coming off. Alright, lock the bonnet. Yeah, if you look inside on the thing, you can actually see the stress marks in the metal where it's sort of knocked it and cracked the paint as it's flexed. It's like this bit here. This is all cracked because, or rusted because the paint cracked. So yeah, it's not that much of an issue. I've just got some rust to sort out here. That hole there has got to be filled. It has actually gone through, sadly. So I've got to sand that back and use some filler on it. This one here is okay. Let's just sand it back, repainted. Another one there, just sand it back and repaint. I've got a little bit there to sort out. It should be just sand back and repaint. There's a little bit around this where it's going to flake off. Hope you could probably flake it off with your nail. Yeah, there you go. That'll just be a sand back and repaint. Just little blemishes that the car's got. But in the quest of rustlessness, yeah, say that when you're drunk, rustlessness. That's something that I want to do. Just get it nice. It's far too good a car for it to, you know, far too new in terms of low mileage for it to just sit and rust away. So yeah, it needs sorting out. Yeah, we got the. Could just open the door. We put a radio in there. Cigarette lighter now. Okay, that is from out of a Mark II Panda, so okay, it's not exactly, you know, in way to the car, but yeah, whatever. We took the original radio box out, which is just living in the garage somewhere at the moment. It needs to what do you call it? I don't know. I was thinking of sticking it back in here, but my brother doesn't want it back in. Oh well, I think it would be a nice place to put an auxiliary radio, say like a amateur radio set or something, but just play with it a bit so it's not sticking so far over to the passenger side pedal, driver's side pedals, which it was doing. It's quite annoying actually. Maybe sit it a bit further back inside as well. Yeah, gear stick. That came out pretty good. I think I've already done a video on this one, I'm not sure. But that was the old one, which was plastic, and that's the new one, which isn't new. Came out of an LDV postal wagon, postal van. And all I did was get some white wall tyre wall marker and just fill the numbers in the patterning, and it come out like that. Come out pretty good. and it feels nice in your hands. It's not cold to touch like these metal ones you get, which are nice and horrible in winter. Nice and horrible, well, which are horrible and cold in winter. It was a screw-on fitting, but it just was underneath a bit of rubber, which held it in place, and then sort of like pressed down the screw. So unscrewing it from the van, it was quite easy. Just literally unscrewed and pulled at the same time, and it came off. And to put it back in the car, this is just a push-on fit. I just used a bit of silicone sealant, and it stuck it on pretty well. Yeah, excuse me, I've got hay fever. This is my hay fever season starting up. I've got Mr. Snuffly Nose, it's all come back again. Still using the original car speakers. I've got some others for it, but once you sneeze, you can't stop. It's just finding a place to put them. I don't really want to go around destroying the interior, as you can imagine. But normally the people always stick them in the backs just there, just after the seatbelt. That's where they are in my car, and that's where the either the factory put them in or the dealership put them in. I'm not sure. I suspect it would have been the dealership, because they didn't do a very good job of routing the wiring through the car. They just literally put it under this bit here and just sat the plastics down it, which wasn't a very good idea, because the screw holes was actually going through one of the wires, and was earthing one side of the speaker, which is why that speaker always sounded very low. It did actually break the original radio, which I think is just a transistor that's gone down in it. Might be able to repair it. Such an old radio, I don't think it's worth it, but I'd like to get it repaired just to be original to the car. But anyway, guys and girls, I've rambled on enough. That's 8 minutes of just talking about crap, really. Oh, let me just show you the yeah, while I'm in here, let me just show you the old ball joint, which is quite laughable. The wheel bearing's still pretty good. I'm going to change it here because I've got a new one, but that's still pretty good for a wheel bearing. But there's your ball joint. That's what was causing my knocking noise. You can see the play in that. It's lost all its grease and all of its, pretty much all of its nylon that it sits in, which acts the same way as cartilage in a joint. Just stops it from knocking around like it's doing. Look, that's definitely what was causing my knocking noise. I'm really surprised the MOT tester didn't spot that on when he checked the car over. But it just shows they obviously do miss some things. But I'm glad the car did start knocking. I took it over a bump pretty seriously. I didn't realise it was there in the road, and I went over it pretty quick. And ever since then, it started knocking. I thought, oh, that's bad. Either I've snapped a spring or something, or you know, done something else. You know, hairline fracturing one of the springs. You don't notice it's done it until you compress the spring. But thankfully that wasn't the case, and it was just a nice cheap £10 part. That's with postage as well. £6 without postage. Nice and cheap. And yeah, that can be thrown in the bin. That, put it in the metal bin. And that ball joint just sits in this lovely painter, which is now full of water. This lovely painted the name of it again, bearing housing thing, hub carrier, that's the one. So you just have to press it in there and secure it with a locking pin, so it presses down from the top, and then you secure it with like a circlip. And that's the brake carrier, that one. That's one thing I could do with getting, actually, more paint. I'm going into town today, so I need to get more yellow paint. It's 4-wheel drive. What? It takes yellow paint. Well, yellow paint looks good. There's lots of runs in this paint. I'm not too fussed there. It's only there to stop it from rusting. You can't see it when you've got the wheels on. Alright, guys and girls, that's about it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next videos. Peace out.